Welcome to episode 12 of Run With. On today's episode, I talked to the amazing Charlotte Taylor-Green. Charlotte has some incredible PBs. She started off as a track runner and recently she has converted to the roads. Last year she ran an incredible 2:36 at Dublin Marathon. Today we talk about her future plans for the marathon, her future goals and keeping a balanced approach when it comes to training. So today I am catching up with Charlotte Taylor-Green. How are you today?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
So we're in a bit of a weird situation. We're trying to get this interview in before lockdown, which is kicking in on Thursday. So
Yeah.
it's a bit, try rush, trying to get that in, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit.
How are you feeling about heading into another lockdown?
It's not great, but at the end of the day, it's got to be done. So just got to get on with it, really.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't mind it, but you know, we'll see how long it lasts for.
Oh, hopefully not too long.
It does impact you though, because you work in a gym, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so first off, how and why did you start running?
For me, when I was kind of in my early 20s, really bad on the drink, on antidepressants, very unhealthy. So I kind of just wanted to lose some weight, mental health. So I kind of started going to the gym, just started running really. So just to help with that.
And did it help?
Yeah, massively. Yeah. So me and a friend, because I did a marathon very early on, so we kind of decided to run for charity.
I saw this.
So
I checked out the Run Britain.
So yeah, so we decided, let's raise some money for charity. So it's as everyone does, let's start with a marathon. That was London, yeah. So yeah, and it all kind of spiraled on from there, really.
Do you think signing up to raise money for charity and do a marathon that helped you stay keep to running and
yeah, I mean, when I first started, I was one of these that I entered an event, did a bit of training, I raced, and then because I wouldn't have another race, I wouldn't run. So I was never one of these that started running and went, oh my god, I kept going. I did have on and off for a few years.
Okay. Now you're obviously very talented and a very good runner. So what point when you started running did you start taking it a bit more seriously?
So I think I joined Bristol West and somehow got roped into doing steeplechase on the track. And so it was kind of 2012. I think I watched the Olympics and I was like, oh yeah, I think everyone got inspired. So yeah, I did a little bit of track and yeah, I took to the steeplechase quite well, winning events quite quickly. So yeah, then I was like, let's just see what I can do.
And did it, because you've done a lot of track.
Yeah.
So was track your kind of thing?
I suppose, yeah, I think I originally was one of these, let's do lots of marathons. And then I was like, oh no, you should try the short stuff. And so yeah, I just thought,
because you
why
did London, but there was no more marathons after that for a long time, until last year.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I went to the track and I think everyone's like, just get your speed. So, I think I never did that I wasn't a junior athlete that come through, you did your 8s and your 15s, then moved your 5K upwards. So yeah, it's just nice to try, I think experiment with all events. So 8s, 15s, 3K and 5K. So. Did
you find it harder coming to it later?
No, I think when I first started, I didn't really worry about splits or lap times. I just wanted to win. So I'd go into a race I want to win, sit and kick. So that's kind of my approach to. It's just that endorphin. Yeah, can I win? Can I win? I really enjoyed that aspect of racing.
So you're quite competitive.
Quite competitive. just a little bit.
When you started on track, what was your favourite distance? What would be your favourite?
I think because I jumped in the steeple quite soon, it did become kind of my favourite. And then I always did love the 8, because even as a steeplechaser, it's something about the 800, it just hurts, but it's kind of fun.
It hurts. I can think of nothing worse. I've not done 800, I've done nothing like that, no track work.
There's something about it, that end, just sort of can I hang on, as you're dying down the home straight, it's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. And when did you decide, because now you've turned to road.
Yeah.
When did you decide to leave the track behind and focus more on the road?
Well, I think 2017, 2018, I started to struggle with the track. I think because I didn't start when I was younger, I found myself in that kind of top end bubble, which I kind of struggled with a little bit, just sort of mentally. So what I could run and my mental strength wasn't kind of in line, wasn't matched up. So, and I just struggled to get in races. So we knew qualifying times were there, but I just couldn't get those races, and then I lost 2 jobs, lost some family members, and within 2018 and got injured. I think I was just so stressed. I literally got to I think it was July, I was like, right, that's it, no more running, I'm done.
Really?
And then I entered the marathon.
Like you do.
So as you do, so I think, I was like, do you know what?
Kind of like when you first started.
Yeah, and I was like, do you know what? That's how it started. I kind of want to see what I could do if I really run a race in a marathon. So that's so I took a break and then trained for Dublin last year.
Trained for Dublin. You had an amazing race at Dublin.
Yeah.
So you came in with 2:36.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, I was really happy.
Were you expecting to do so?
I mean, training was saying it was there, and I thought, when I go into it, I was like, I could run sub 2:40, but you kind of, with a marathon, like everyone knows anything can happen. So through training, it was showing that probably 2:34 to 2:36 was definitely there. But I spoke to a few marathon girls, like Ali Dixon was one. I was in Font training over the summer, and she's like, whatever you do, your first one, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't get showboaty, don't get, I can run this and go off too hard. She's like, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so
nice.
I can just remember running past my husband at mile 18, like, woo! And everyone's just actually doing and he's like, runners, I'm like, I'll get them, it's fine.
You don't really see that kind of at the top end of the
No,
you
but
don't see people kind of waving.
No, but I think I only lost 10 seconds in the last half. So I ran it smart. I think, it was hurting. I was hurting, but I wasn't in a point where I was out of control. So
was there a point in the race where you thought, this is good? And
I think once I got to 16, the first up to 10, I was like, oh, this is great. And then 10 to 16, I was a bit like, okay, let's just get this bit done. And then once, I'd got to 17 miles, I was like, okay, this is home, the last part, let's go. So.
Yeah. And how different do you find it now training for the roads as opposed to track?
I quite enjoy with track, obviously it's always having the facilities. When I was steeplechasing, I could never get a water pit filled in, so it just really struggled to train the different elements and aspects of the road. And with working, you can I can get up, you can just squeeze it in a lot better. I can fit it in my day better than with track.
So let's talk about your training, because you do work as well.
Yeah.
So what does a typical training week look like for you?
So obviously this year's just been very, very different, but when I was in my marathon prep, sort of a Monday, it'd be 10 miles in the morning. And then because Monday I don't start till the afternoon, so it was a bit of a short turnaround. Then I'll do 5 miles in the late afternoon. And then Tuesday would just be one run, so just like a longer session. Wednesday, again, we built up to 12, 13 miles midweek.
Yep.
Then Thursday it'd be 10 and 5. Then I'll do a session on a Friday, a little bit easier Saturday, and then the long one on Sunday. So I think we averaged 83 for the 4-month block for the marathon.
Which is a lot, isn't it?
Which is a lot.
And you work full time?
It's kind of not quite full time, it's not part time, it's that kind of in the middle. But it's quite good, my job is quite flexible. So when I'm not really in a big training block, I'll work more hours. And then when I know that it's a marathon, I can reduce my hours down slightly.
You're a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
So how does that help with training at all? Does it hinder?
I mean, sometimes it's tiring because you're on your feet, and it'd be amazing when you work in a gym how many people do not know how to put a weight away when they've got a weight out. So the amount of weight you put away, put your weights away. So and definitely we have a lot of strongmen in our gym, and there's nothing worse go out the back and all the 25 kilo plates are on the floor, and you're like, oh man, really? It's amazing how. So it's quite an active job. So.
But you do a lot of strength training alongside your running, don't you?
I do.
I love your Instagram because you're constantly sharing what you're doing.
Yeah,
and it's really
I love it.
So would you say that you strength train more than say the typical two times a week that a lot of runners
do?
do?
I do sort of 2 your bigger days, and then some of the other days it'd just be a little bit more mobility and the conditioning side rather than the strength side. So rather than the lifting, just do a little bit of band work, just your core routines and stuff like that. So, but really 2 to 3 is enough. I think you can. And
you lift heavy, right?
Yeah, I like to push the boundaries of the lifting. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that benefits your running?
Yeah, massively. For me, I think being 35 as well, I think as an older athlete, it's very different to when you're younger. When the younger athletes can just bounce up in the morning, walk down the stairs. As you get a bit older, you've got to be smarter. And I was struggling with Achilles issues on the track for the speeds, and I think the strength has just replaced those really, really fast sessions. I can get the same benefits from lifting than I would doing something really fast on the track.
And the conditioning with band work and stuff, how important is that?
It is important. I mean, you need to do more than just band work, but it's nice, and definitely if you're in a maintenance phase, it kind of keeps you ticking over. But it's just sort of that activation and making things are switched on and working.
So with lockdown impending,
Yes.
are you going to be able to lift heavy during that?
Yes, because last time I went to lockdown, I did buy quite a lot of stuff from my boss.
It was hard to get stuff though.
It was
in the
like,
last
well, we're
lockdown?
quite lucky. So the gym I work at, the other side of the business, the Gym Revolution, is kit sales and gym setups.
Yeah.
So that's the main part of their business. So it meant, it's obviously, it wasn't buying cheap bars, that was quite expensive stuff, but
Yeah.
it was worth it. So
if anybody can get any bit of kit for lockdown whilst they're at home, what would you say would be helpful things?
Kettlebells, like just get yourself a few little kettlebells, like a little slam ball. But obviously they're just hard to get hold of everything. I mean, if you can get hold of like a bar with just like a couple of 10 kilo plates or 5 kilo plates, you can do a lot with that.
Yeah, I think we've got everything now, but we were quite lucky. We got it kind of after lockdown, so we have it in lockdown, but we're prepared for this.
prepared for it, like the second wave.
Our plates are outside getting rested because there's no space in the garage for them.
I know, now I'm just literally really small at TV, and just there's weights everywhere, and like, oh well, it's gonna have to just stay there for now.
I do love it when it's like working from home, so you've got your home office, you've got the gym, you've got everything just like all snuggled.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So, I can't completely remember blank then. Okay, so you've done a marathon.
Yeah.
What are your plans with the marathon now? Is this your distance?
Yeah, I think once you go to the marathon, ultimately, like, going back down is definitely right back down is a little bit harder. So yeah, I do feel like, there's definitely faster times to come for me in the marathon. So yeah, give it a little go, and then I do kind of want to go longer as well at some point.
So ultras?
Yeah, I think for me, and that was the thing, and track I struggled because it's the whole, you did the same thing year in, year out, and I'm a bit of a free spirit, so sometimes like, oh, that looks really hard, I just want to go do that. Yeah. And for me it's that challenge, and I'm like, I'll train and do that. Yeah. And then once I get stuck in the same sort of circuit, I I get bored quite quickly. So
see, no, I like that because I'm very similar to that. Gemma calls me a magpie.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, like, I'm very much, yeah.
I like to keep it interesting because I do get quite bored quite easily.
Yeah.
And I think all of us as runners can get stuck into the same routine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And some people like the routine, and some people just find it a little bit.
But like, I think with the road, what's amazing, like with a marathon, you've got a flat. You're like, oh, that marathon's really flat. Okay, we'll go in there to run fast. And others are just like, that's going to be a hard marathon. Yeah. How strong can I be? Yeah. So I think with road races, you've got like some races aren't about times. Like I just want to finish as high as I can. Yeah. Because it's just a hard course. Because it's just And I think that's the good thing about the road is. Yeah, it's not like with track, you go to track, a track is a track. It doesn't matter where you go, whatever country you go, it's a flat 400 metre. So, you're always chasing time, where road, you can kind of just have that, oh, today I'm here just to race. And I think people forget that element of just racing. They're so addicted to their watch and their splits and their times. Just run, just see what you can do.
Yeah, I like that.
So I think I like that element with the road.
Yeah, do you have any plans to hit the trails?
Maybe I'm a bit of a Bambi on trails.
Yeah.
Like going up, come down. I am a proper worst. I'm one of these that I've become like, oh no, like I'll just walk down. But maybe I think at some point, because I just think trails, they're just beautiful, aren't they? So everyone loves to run on a good trail. So
do you include them in your training at all, or
it's quite mainly roads? Yeah. I seem to actually cope quite well just on the road, but we've got a few sort of like gravel trails around this way, which I will hit when we're in the higher mileage, but. Once it gets wet and it's around our way, it's more fields and stiles, so it's kind of like it gets to the point where you just slip in the sliding, and then the next day you're actually sore. Because
it's fun, but I guess like if you're trying to get an actual workout done.
Oh, there's nothing worse. Every time I stop at a stile, I just get so angry. I'm like, no. Do I? No, not if that. It's just no point, is it? Because you're not.
Do you use a Garmin?
Yeah, I do use it, but to be fair, I don't. I'm not one of these that looks at my watch when I train. Everyone asks me, I'm just like. I look at it for the first, right, this is the pace, my heart rate's where it needs to be, and then I'll just, I know my rates.
Track your heart rate when you're running?
Yeah, I found as I've got older, again, that's been to stop myself, like overcooking myself. I was one of these that always ran everything under 7-minute miles, at one point, it just felt like, I don't know, you're like, oh, you have to, you see everyone, like, oh yeah, even if it's just 6:59, we're now quite happy running, take my dog, go out and run, for me, 8-minute miling is slow. Yeah. So, just... Yeah, enjoy it really. So just go to, if I'm feeling sore and tired, just run to how the body feels on that day.
Yeah, and do you find, because I find, obviously different levels, but my easy pace varies quite a bit. depending on, like my heart rate will be the same, so I'll keep it to the same heart rate, but there can be quite a variation.
Well, yeah, because you've had a really hard session, your body's going to be trying to recover. And I think that's it. Like, I was like, oh, but normally this is my easy pace. Why don't it feel hard today? It's like your body's just tired. Just run it. You're feeling tired, run slower. Like, you're not going to get any gains from pushing the pace, not on an easy run.
And do you think, because it sounds like you've kind of found what works for you, and has that kept you injury free, do you think?
Yeah, I've actually had, like, you know, since even going into Dublin and after Dublin, yeah, it's been my longest stint of not really, you know, everyone gets niggles, you know, you get a bit of a sore calf for a few days or something like that, but then, yeah, I haven't had anything like, that's weird.
I know.
It's like, that's weird. Yeah, nothing major.
It's almost like that thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that phrase, that you're either recovering from an injury on the way to being injured?
So for me, it's not so injuries, it's colds or illnesses. So I'm one of these that tend to get ill, so I get really run down. So normally when I'm like fit, I'm verge on it, like, you know, the cold's coming, I'm like, okay, like where's this race needs to happen because I'm about to be ill.
Do you think that's because I can't imagine you get a lot of rest and recovery with working and training?
No, it's.
Do you think that plays a part?
Yeah, and I think that's it with me and my easy running. I have to run slow just because when I go to work I'm on my feet and I finish at 9 o'clock at night and eat my dinner close to 10 o'clock at night. You know, you've just got to be
everything
smart.
Gets a bit later.
Yeah, everything gets later and later. Yeah. So one of these now, like if it's a double run and I wake up and feeling really tired, I'd rather have the extra hour or two in bed than do that run.
I like that. So instead of just pushing through and going out because that's on plan,
just sleep.
Just sleep. I think it was an interview with Holly actually, and she was saying about sleep and with injuries and stuff. You know, some people just you need to rest, and
otherwise your body's always on that, like that adrenaline is just so high. You just sort of you're living off that kind of those endorphins, but actually, the body does need rest as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you like to do when you're having a downtime? Are there any things away from
Oh, it's just normally like the dogs. Cuddling up on the sofa, cuddling up on the sofa with the dogs.
So, how many have you got? 2 or 3?
3.
And are they whippets?
So I've got a lurcher, a miniature schnauzer, and then a Shih Tzu cross Yorkshire Terrier. They're such a weird little bunch.
I love seeing them. They are beautiful.
So just taking the dogs out, like seeing the dogs happy, cuddling with the dogs. Just can't beat cuddles with your futures. So.
Yeah, and I see as well from your Instagram you had a little dab. Are you a rider?
Yes, I used to for years. Yeah, so coming from the countryside, had probably horses until my early 20s.
Yeah.
So I've been riding my boss's horse. I'm actually going to go see my sister on Wednesday before lockdown to ride her horse. So I do miss it. And every now and then I'm like, oh, I really want a horse again. But I know ultimately it's just I don't have time. Like I do miss it.
I do know that feeling. Countless times I'm like, do you know what? I want to get back and I want a horse again and ride. Yeah. And I think actually, when would I fit it in?
Yeah. It is like, you know, you'd have to get up and go to the yard in the mornings. It is like it's quite nice that now I get to ride without all the other little bits. So
okay, so we were talking a little bit beforehand about kind of taking it back a bit over lockdown over this year because there's no races. What would be your advice to others that are training quite hard through lockdown?
I just think enjoy it. Like at the end of the day, like we all love racing. Racing's like, you know, when you're really fit, you train really hard. That race, you know, we all love it, but at the end of the day, it's not essential. You know, we can all still train. We can enjoy what we do. It's just being smart. So you don't need to thrash yourself year in, year out. You can have we've taken this year as more of a down year. So went back to middle distance training a bit, reduced my mileage, just had fun with it and just enjoy it.
It paid off because you got 5k PB as well.
Yeah, I got 5k PB. So you just have fun with it, just enjoy it. You know, it's amazing that we're allowed to go out and have that little bit of exercise. So just have fun. Just have fun.
Yeah. So I've spoken about this a lot with different people at the moment, and I think as well as, you know, the races aren't on, so some people are finding it hard to find motivation but I think it is a good time to find the reason why you run and what it means for you personally, because like for you originally it didn't start out as being competitive or anything like that. It was to help you out of a difficult time. So I guess for others right now trying to find the reason why they run.
I think then that's it. Just get out, and it is a good time to think about why you run or what you want to do, or, you know, time to think about set yourself new goals. Like we all know, you know, even early 2021 is going to be still difficult, but you know, there's you know, when you look at top end athletes, they have like a 4-year training block. So like 4 years down the line, that's my target. So you can just set yourself like mini targets, like, you know, everyone like time trialing and stuff as well. So
I love how patient you are though.
you just got to be like, I just think I've been in the past, I've put myself in, you know, not great areas like mental health, just getting stressed about things. I've just got to the point, I'm just like, just roll with the punches. You can't control it. So.
And do you think when you put yourself in that position, was that from pushing yourself too much?
Yeah, I think it's just been always on the go. I've always done quite a lot. So it's just, I'm just pressures on myself.
Quite high expectations.
Yeah, definitely. So it's just, and normally it's my own pressures. It's no one else, but I feel like everyone else is putting pressure on me, but ultimately it's me putting the pressure on myself.
Yeah.
I think, so.
It's not a bad thing. Though.
No.
I guess it's about keeping it in check.
Yeah, it's just
on a safe level.
Yeah.
And not putting yourself in a bad place again.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about the future for you.
Yes.
Are there any plans to try and go for a GB vest?
Oh, do you know what? I've never been on the track. I started chasing the vest, and that's when I started getting back depressed again. It just didn't suit me. For me, running's for me. Like, great. I know, you know, a lot of people, they want to train for Olympics, that's fine. But for me, it's just about how well I can do for myself. If a vest comes, great, but I wouldn't chase the vest. For me, it's not the pinnacle running. Like, I just like doing stuff for myself. And
that would be a Brucey bonus if it came along.
Yeah, if it comes along, it's like great, but I wouldn't put myself, you know, just at risk, like pushing too hard for something that just...
Do you think other athletes can push themselves too hard?
Oh God, yeah.
The pressure of it?
Yeah. And I've seen people, you know, got friends after, and you see the side effects, and just like, oh, how much is it worth? But like, I love it, and yeah, I want to go to a high level of it, but it's times that I want to do, not for anyone else, it's just what I want to do for me.
Yeah, so I guess what we don't see a lot of the time, we see the elites and we see the performances, we see the times, we see the vest, but we don't see kind of the sacrifices.
And it's hard, and you know, they go through struggle, like definitely the mental side of it, it's hard, it's very, very tough. And I think when you've started athletics at a younger and you've carried on, you've come through the rankings, mentally they're a bit better with it, but I think the athletes that have started older and you've got good quite quickly, it is all like, oh wow, like how do you cope with it? So
a lot of people will do their easy runs too hard. Because of social media, because of Strava, because they're putting their runs up on Strava, or you see people like they put up a run on Strava and they make an excuse for why their pace was so slow. They've got to justify a slower pace. Do you think that social media and the Strava stuff, that it can turn what essentially is a hobby for most people unhealthy?
Yeah, I think so. And I've seen people, you know, like, oh, I really want to take that crown, or they've pushed really hard, like, yeah, I got the crown on my easy run, and then the next day, oh, my session was really bad, I was really tired, and you're kind of like, well, that's why. So yeah, I think, you know, it's great. I think everyone likes to share their runs. It's like a little community, which is a really nice side of it. But I think people do get, you know, a little bit obsessive, too wrapped up in stats and so do you know?
I think I went through a phase of it.
We've all done it. I've been there.
Every run on Strava, I was like, even in my run, I'd be like, well, how's this going to look on Strava? Who cares what it looks like on Strava?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Looking at my runs and going, I see what you do. You know, it doesn't matter, I guess. I think it's just we get it into our own heads, don't we?
That's it. I think we all do it to ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. No, God, I've fallen into the Strava trap. Do you think Are you on Strava?
I am, like, no, I've got up because I help a few people, so it's more to see what they've done, but I've just not bothered. I just think, you know, I don't need to, right, you know, sometimes I'll put my runs up and stuff, like, you know, I'll share runs and what I've done, but yeah, I don't think you need to really. It's sort of...
Do you ever go segment hunting?
No. Oh, hell no. No.
I haven't even got a chance to get on the leaderboard, but I do think if I had it in me, I would be like, right, I'm going to have it.
Yeah, I think I've never got that. But then I think in lockdown, though, the problem is a lot of people, again, that's probably their motivation. So there is that little bit, oh, do you know what? There's no races. I want to try and get that segment. So
I can understand that for a bit of motivation.
Yeah, but
you need something to train.
I think people, you know, they do, like you said, like they want to justify, oh, I ran slow today because of this, because, you know, there's a million excuses. If you want to run slow, there's no... You know, just, it's an enjoyment run, so just
switch off
and
lose the stats on your watch. Yeah, definitely. I do keep mine on heart rate.
So yeah, that's what I do. I just have it on the heart. So I just see my heart rate as I'm running, and I just run to my heart rate.
Yeah.
Unless it's a session. When it's a session, then the heart rate doesn't matter. So because I'm there just to run hard.
I don't put it on heart rate, but I do have a little peak. So I'm like, oh, it's very hard. I feel sick, and I'm only 10 beats per minute more. Okay, great. And you said you help other people, so you coach other runners?
So just, well, not really coach anyone, but just more mentor, like, you know, a little bit of advice and stuff. Like they come to, you know, I want to do this race, kind of help with a few sessions and stuff like that. So. And
how do you find that? Do you enjoy doing
I really enjoy it, and I think actually when I was on the track, what I enjoyed the most was pacemaking. I've always loved just helping others. Like, it definitely, you know, it's just that watching other people do well. And
you paced Gemma, didn't you? A couple of weeks
ago. Paced Gemma at 5K. That's a PB. So
yeah,
bless her. I think she hated me during it because I'm screaming at her.
I think paces have got to be hated though, right?
Yeah, you've got to be.
Because like whenever I've been paced by Matt, I hate him. And I love him really, but at the time, and he gets called everything under the sun.
Yeah, but then it's just that nice, like giving back, like, you know, and just helping others. Yeah, like it's tough sport, it's a hard sport, and you know, at the moment, a lot of people do a lot of stuff on their own. So when we can run with people, help each other out, then yeah, it's just a nice feeling.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I think I agree with you. I think it's nice because you know what it means to get like a PB.
Oh God, yeah, it's phenomenal. Like it's absolutely, you know, and a lot of my PBs have come from pace races.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to give back and help others.
Yeah, I like that. So was Gemma well behaved in her 5K?
Yeah. She was good. We did set off a little bit too quick, that's fair, because the first little bit was slightly down. There was no wind behind us, and we did attack it. Yeah. But then she was really good.
If anybody wants to see Gemma's, she's done a couple of 5Ks around the Lydney Lake, and she's brilliant. She really gives it everything.
Oh, she does, and that's the amazing thing with Gemma. She's one of these that, like, I love her attitude. Like, even if she knows she's off pace, she doesn't give in. Like, she just keeps trying. She'll throw it right into the line. Yeah. She's not one of these that goes, oh, it's off, like, let's just jog it in. She digs in and tries.
Yeah. How important do you think that is with running, the mental side?
Oh my God, it's so important. I've been one of those that gone, and that's the thing, you look at your watch and it says a pace, but that's just that split moment in time. We've all done it and gone, oh, that's it, my race is over. Yeah. And then you mentally, you've lost it, where actually it could have just been a blip for 5 seconds. 5 seconds out your whole race is nothing, and you can still run really well.
Yeah. No, I get that, because I think I've done that a few times.
Yeah, you let that's it, you know, that's it, I'm done. And then you talk yourself out of it. And then actually sometimes, okay, you might not run a PB, but you could be very close, or just even being consistent is a good result, a very good result. So
I think as well, it's nice to know that you've given everything, no matter what.
No matter what. Like, as long as you've gone there that day, you've given it everything, you've tried your best, your time's your time, and that's it. If you know, that's how it should be.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's the plans next year?
Well, hopefully, need to see, obviously there's going to be the Olympic trials for the marathon, so I'm hoping I can get in that, because otherwise I'm going to have to wait 2 years. It would have been a 2-year gap from my marathon, so yeah, hopefully. Are you going to try and run the time beforehand, or are you going to try and find a marathon beforehand? No, just train, just go with it, because I'm still like massively learned. Like, I've done one proper marathon, like I've got a long way to go with the marathon, so just take my time. A hell of a debut. Oh yeah, I'll just be happy. And the thing is, I could go out and run slower the next time round, because that's it. You could. That I ran, you know, I felt in control, where you can push that little bit too hard, and we all know what happens in a marathon. You push too hard, it can go the complete other way. So I think you've just got to enjoy the ride. You've got to remember Ali. You just got to embrace it. Just embrace it.
And so, explain to me, how do you said if you get into the Olympic trial? Yes, obviously they haven't announced standards or how you get in yet. They've just put a date out. So that's all we know. So yeah, and then so if they release a date and they release the standards, what's the process for you then? Do you just say, can I come? Yeah, I assume so. I'm not quite sure. So I assume I don't know whether they'll do, like, obviously with British Champs to Track, you get an invite. I don't know whether they send out invites or how it really works, or I suppose just need to find that out really. So the training you're doing at the moment, is it kind of like with that in mind? So you're taking it a bit easier, but I've had like a chilled out summer. Then September I still took a break, even though I didn't do the mileage I'd normally do. You still need a break, so we did our usual, have a time off. So 4 or 5 weeks into winter. So what do you do in your time off? Do you still run easy? I had a week of like no running, and then the following week I ran like 3 or 4 times. Just went out for like 30 minutes, just really slow. I know a lot of amateur runners and a lot of lot of us will just carry on running, running and not.
I mean, if you like, again, some people want to exercise, just go for a swim, just go for a hike, get out in the fresh air, because that's it as well. It's headspace for a lot of people, and it's so I want to run because it's my time away out the house, or you know, you can go for a walk. There's other things you can do. Like you don't need to. It is important to have that complete rest.
Yeah, I love it. It just sounds like a very balanced approach, and I think a lot of us can learn about balancing.
It is hard. Like, you know, we all like, because that's it. And you'll say, oh, but so and so smashing it. Oh no, I really want to start this week, and you're just like, no, you know, go to your own goal, your own plan. Nobody else. It's just focus on yourself, and because we all start at different times in our lives. Everyone has different goals. We're not all on the same journey or path, so just stick to your own.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I like that. That's though, isn't it? I mean, we are all individual at the end of the day in everything in life, and that applies to running as well.
Yeah.
I can get a little bit. I get FOMO of things that I didn't think that I'd get FOMO over.
Okay.
So I'll see something, say like on social media, and I'll be like, oh, I think it's really good. Oh, I want to do that. Never had an interest in it before, and actually probably wouldn't have an interest in it normally, but because I've seen it on social media, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to have a crack at that. But more often than not, it goes away.
Yeah, I mean, it's just no point like worrying about other people's training. Yeah. You know, and I feel like, oh, people are doing a lot. It's like, just let them crack on. Like,
I think it's a learning curve, isn't it? Like now, I think. I mean, I'm not an experienced runner. I haven't been running for years and years, but now I'm a lot more at peace of just like. So at the moment, I've got this stress fracture.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, when I've been injured, I've been really kind of
stressed about it.
Yeah, I've been stressed about it, and I've kind of trained through it because I'm looking at everybody else, and I still need to be bashing out a load of cardio. I still need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, you know, and perhaps delaying the healing process. Whereas now I think I'm a bit more wise, and I'm just like, okay, that's great, everybody else is smashing it and everybody else is doing this, but I'm just gonna take
that's it. You have to do what's right for you. Like 2018, when I had like a bit of tendon issue in the foot and I had to cut my season short, which is when I was like, that's it, no more running. And actually, I'm not one of these that, like, Jane's like, oh, look, you know, just take 2 weeks, we could finish the season. I went, nah. Like, I don't want to cross train. Like, I don't want to, I just want to heal. Like, the body, it's about being healthy as well. Like, health as wealth. Like, you just need a balance. Like, you know. Yeah,
absolutely. Do you think that some people can, because the cross-training through injury, to me, is an interesting one. Now, I feel, unless you are elite and you've got a race coming up, or there's some really important reason to be cross-training through injury, I feel like that those people should perhaps be cross-training hard through injury. So I've done the whole aqua jogging and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've returned, and I've been quite fit, but my body's not at the same stage, and it's kind of like, okay, I've maintained fitness, but I don't really know what for, and I'm still not as fit anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot more people need to take a step back when they're injured? And
just strip back and just why are you injured? Where are your weaknesses? Is there something you can do? Like, everyone can always do a bit of core work, you know, stretching your mobility, and that's it. There's other things. Just try and find a different hobby. Just try and find something different. It's occupying the mind, and I think that's it with a lot of people. We all get in our own little heads, and it's more probably for the head than anything else. So it's just finding something else that you can do, that you can enjoy, and just takes away from running a little bit and gives you a different focus.
Yeah. Get some dogs.
Get some dogs. Get some dogs. I want more dogs, and the husband's like, no.
My dog needs to meet them. He's like, well, are we going out or what? Like, I'll just take you to a field and throw a ball, and he's just like, this is not a walk. I'm not happy. So to him, that's probably the same record. It's just like, oh, really? I'm going to get the ball again. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, and I love your approach to running, to life, and all of it. I think it's so balanced, and I think a lot of us can learn from that. So thank you very much for taking the time out. I hope lockdown goes well for you.
Oh, I know. It'll be all right. We did it before. We can do it again. Yeah. I mean, we've just got to stay at home. We can still go out and run. We can still, you know, it sucks. I mean, obviously people, like, you know, not seeing family and friends as much, but it's not forever. So
yeah. I guess we just got
to get through it.
It'd be interesting actually, because the weather's probably going to be a lot worse than our first lockdown. The first lockdown, I kind of like, you know, I was in the garden sunbathing.
Yeah, this time's going to be like, where's the Disney films and the duvet on the sofa?
Isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
film. Yeah, Yeah, so
We both love dressing and going live.
hell yeah.
Dress and go to the win. But it's been lovely talking to you, and I'm really excited to follow your journey next year.
Thanks for having
I
me.
hope everybody else will. So I will leave all of Charlotte's links below for Instagram, maybe not Strava.
No, not you'd be very disappointed with Strava.
So please do go and give her a follow and give her some support, and we'll see what you get up to next year.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching today's episode. Do make sure to check out Charlotte on Instagram. I've added her links below. Next week I should be talking to Matt Clowes ahead of Valencia Marathon in December. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do make sure to like, share and subscribe. But until next week, stay safe and happy running.